Let's start with your education. Tell us about your schooling.
I attended high school at J.S. Clark High School in Opelousas, Louisiana. I graduated when I was 16 and went to Southern University. I became the youngest editor-in-chief of the Southern University newspaper, and I wrote some things that were illegal at the time, like, "America, if I fight your wars and pay your taxes, I will not walk around the back door of the courthouse." That was illegal at the time. I was expelled. I joined the Navy and finished my undergraduate work while I was in the Navy at night school, Old Dominion College, Hampton Institute, Norfolk State College, and I graduated from Norfolk State. I was accepted at several law schools, including Harvard. I accepted a scholarship at Rutgers Law School, one of the nation's top 5 law schools. I studied government and law very intensively there, and graduated and taught there for a year, taught government and law. And of course, I went to New York Theological Seminary. I just graduated from law school and decided to address my spiritual development. I'd been away from home for a long time, and I needed to be more grounded. And I found that grounding in the seminary and in the study of my Lord and his ways and his ideas and his way.
Senator, you mentioned New York Theological Seminary. Tell us about your spiritual development.
My spiritual development actually started a generation or two before I was born. My grandfather was one of the founders of the first and the second oldest black churches in St. Landry Parish, Little Zion Baptist Church and Mount Olive Baptist Church. When I was a little boy, 2 years old, I developed a close relationship with God. Now, my mom wanted me to be a Baptist preacher from day one, and she dedicated me to God and to his service. Well, I messed around for some years. I became a Catholic, and I spent most of my adult life as a Catholic. And Baptist churches. As a matter of fact, I remained active in both the churches. My mom was a Baptist, my dad was Catholic, and so I remained active in both the churches that I grew up in. And for my mom's 99th birthday, I was baptized in the water in that church that was founded by my grandparents shortly after slavery. And still, I did not take the move. Mom died at 104. And I guess she started to pester the Lord every day to make sure that he put his hand on me. And just about 1 year after she died, I was walking down the street and tears started rolling down my cheeks, and my words came forth, and I was preaching a sermon. I knew then that the Lord had indeed called me to his service. And I was ordained just about 1 year after Mom left this earth.
Senator, who had the greatest influence on you as a child and as an adult? Mom or Dad?
The 2 people who had the greatest impact on my lives, the greatest influence on my lives, on my life as a child and as an adult, were my mom and my dad. Dad was a Catholic, very devout. He was an entrepreneur, an adventurer. He motorcyclist, owned his own airplane, flew his own airplane in the 1930s, maybe it was the early 40s. He and his spirit had a major impact on me. Mom was a Baptist, teetotaler, was an English teacher, required precision in speech when I was a little boy. Her drive, her discipline, and her English also had a major impact on me. And of course, their spirituality, both of them, deeply spiritual. Jesus Christ was the leader in each of their lives, and of course they passed that on to me. And I want you to know that I had those two magnificent people, Mom and Dad, for many years, well into my adulthood. Dad left at 102, Mom left at 104. So they were able to give me their guidance, their influence, until I was in my late 60s. It was a wonderful time with those people.
Senator, what will Louisiana look like after 4 years with you as Lieutenant Governor?
After 4 years of Elbert Guillory as Lieutenant Governor, this is what I would like to see. I would like to see that Louisiana has had a balanced budget for 4 years, that we're living within our means. I would like to see a more prosperous Louisiana, a Louisiana where more people are working, where our children become better prepared for life and for the jobs of today and tomorrow by the school system. I would like to see that all of us are safer, our children safer in their schools, our women safer when they're shopping, our elderly safer in their homes. I would like to see a safer Louisiana. Those are the things that I'm going to work on. And of course, tourism. Tourism is a major item for the Lieutenant Governor, and I certainly will manage tourism well. I'm going to inject excitement into it. The ads that you see now for Lieutenant Governor, for tourism, are kind of bland. I'm going to inject some passion into them so that when people see those ads, they'll say, I want to go there. I want to go and see Louisiana, or I want to go to Poverty Point or to Lake Charles. And one of the things that I will do, of course, is to market all of Louisiana, because in the past, places like Opelousas, Alexandria, Monroe, Shreveport, Lake Charles, Lafayette have been left out. Most of the tourism dollars have gone to Baton Rouge and to New Orleans. We're going to make it fair for all of Louisiana.
Senator Elbert Guillory, we could not have chosen a better choice than you as Lieutenant Governor, and I'm sure that everyone would be proud of you, not only in the state, but the nation at large. Thank you, and we are praying for you.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
Senator Guillory, you were active in the civil rights struggle. Would you tell us what you did?
My civil rights activities started when I was about 15. I got involved with a library, a public library, where black folks could not check books out, and that caused a little consternation. There was a civil rights demonstration, a one-man civil rights demonstration at my high school. And then while I was in college, and even on into while I was in the Navy, I continued that work, even as a lawyer and as a law professor. I worked in the civil rights area in Maryland, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Illinois for a very, very brief period, Seattle, usually writing or enforcing civil rights laws across the country, also for the federal government. We gave affirmative action life.
Senator Guillory, you mentioned your decade in the state legislature. How did you distinguish yourself?
In the state legislature, my work really comes into two categories: values and justice. With respect to justice, first, I worked to make sure that sentencing was proper for people who were nonviolent users of small quantities of drugs. We needed to address that, and we did. I assisted in that. I assisted in creating the medical marijuana door, for opening the door for people who have serious illnesses to have responsible and legal ways of having medical marijuana. I'm proud that I was a part of that. For reentry, people who are incarcerated, I passed the law that made sure that people who are incarcerated get educated, counseling, skills training, and work release, so that when they get out, they have no need to return to work. For that work, I was admitted to the Justice Hall of Fame, Louisiana's Justice Hall of Fame. I also worked with the Family Forum, Louisiana Right to Life, the National Rifle Association, other organizations that are pro-life, pro-God, pro-country, pro-gun.
Senator Gilliam, I found personally that your character and integrity will lead us forward with you as Lieutenant Governor of the state of Louisiana.
Thank you, sir.